today on 15 on 15.
Aruba's #1 tourism market can now travel to Cuba as well. Should we be worried? Plus, could it be that iPhone users are smarter than Android users? Find out in our lifestyle segment. And Prime Minister Mike Amon takes the stage at the Caribbean Energy Security Summit in Washington, D.C. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. Cuba has become a competition for Aruba. Starting this year, the island has started allowing American tourists to visit Cuba legally. This impacts us since the United States is Aruba's #1 tourism market. Starting this year, American tourists can now go to Cuba, which is direct competition for Aruba. Anmar Odeber, the Minister of Tourism, commented to ATV regarding the Cuba development. He reassures that in order for Cuba to be a strong player with the U.S. market, they need time to build the destination up. In order for Cuba to meet Aruba's standard, it will take investment as well as time. More importantly, the two islands' focus differ. Aruba is concentrating on the elite market, whereas Cuba is striving for quantity. Cuba's initial plans include building thousands of additional hotels in hopes of driving traffic into their destination. Minister Odeber says this doesn't mean we don't have to worry. Aruba needs to continue marketing our product as a 5-star island and emphasizing our marketing efforts towards the affluent tourists. Tourism stakeholders will monitor Cuba's development very closely since they are now competition. Currently, Aruba has around 9,000 rooms. There are plans within the next 4 to 6 years to expand to 11,000 rooms. Cuba has plans to build further beyond that. The general consensus from tourism entities is that for the next few years, Cuba will not be a direct threat to Aruba. However, it is always wise to monitor all your competitions. Aruba Tourism Authority's marketing strategies ventured to the cold. ATA offered complimentary vacations to stars who attended Sundance in snowy Park City. According to PR Newswire, Sundance is hotter than ever this year as Aruba invites Hollywood stars like Nikki Reed, Toni Collette, Molly Shannon, and Gina Rodriguez to experience the sunny island life in the center of snowy Park City. Stars got a glimpse of what Aruba has to offer at this event. Aruba had several surprises in store for Sundance stars and starlets this weekend as they accepted island-inspired starring roles. ATA's visit included complimentary vacations to the popular Caribbean destination. Ronella Chingashu Cruz said in a statement, "As the co-host of the Top Celebrity Suite, our goal was to capture the spirit of the weekend's film frenzy by bringing Aruba's star-studded qualities to life in an authentic and engaging way." International press members wrote, "Celebrated as one of the most revisited destinations in the Caribbean and boasting the world's most beautiful beaches and friendliest locals, Aruba is an ideal vacation spot for movie stars seeking both adventure and R&R." The director of ATA says they are looking forward to attracting more sun seekers to our One Happy Island following Sundance. Must say it is a creative way to market towards that elite market. The Caribbean Energy Security Summit is taking place this week in Washington, D.C. Aruba's Prime Minister Mike Amon, as well as the Minister of Economic Affairs Mike DeMeza, along with other government delegates, are in attendance. During the Vice President of the United States address, he uses Aruba as an example, praising the island's sustainability accomplishments so far. Here is Vice President Joe Biden.
Aruba, which unites its government, utilities, and businesses behind a common strategy and an action plan, has now brought enough renewable energy online to satisfy 30% of their demand and may even reach 40% by the end of this year. That's demonstrable progress. It's happening now.
Coming up later on in the show, Prime Minister Mike Amon takes the stage at the summit to share with stakeholders the priorities that must be set in place in order to progress towards a green vision. But first, when we come back, we have your lifestyle segment where we will discuss what a new study says is smarter, an Android or iPhone user. Then we will get into the most bizarre sex-related Google searches. And ladies, I will reveal to you the exact amount of hours you should wear your high heels to prevent any injuries. Exactly how long should high heels be worn for? We'll reveal that after the break. Welcome back from the break. You are watching 15 on 15. Here's a question for you. Are you an iPhone user? If so, congratulations. You are probably smarter than the Android owners sitting next to you. Here's why. A new study found that U.S. states with more college graduates tend to also have higher iPhone sales. This study is based in the United States. Researchers found that increased wealth is also linked to greater iPhone sales, but since college degrees also correlate with higher income, the study says those results are redundant. Other studies have found similar results. Rich white males tend to buy more iPhones, particularly in the first weeks that they go on sale. In the first month of sales, nearly 80% of iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus buyers in the United States were male, and more than 60% made over $75,000 a year. The study also notes that iPhone sales correlate to population density. The more densely populated the state, the greater the chance that iPhone sales will be higher in that particular state. Android sales are significantly higher than Apple sales, but the iPhone remains the single most popular smartphone in the United States. More than 42% of U.S. smartphones are iPhones. Moving on to a different topic, Google is the place you go to with all your questions. May they be reasonable, ridiculous, mundane, or plain old embarrassing questions. New research published in the New York Times looked at what people are Googling when it is sex-related. Now, when it comes to marriage complaints, sex trumps all, with more than 21,000 average monthly searches saying sexless marriage takes the gold for top marriage concern. Google has also determined that both men and women are equally worried about their junk. When it comes to genitalia-related searches, women Google nearly as many questions about their vaginas as men do about their penises. Get this, that concern far outweighs the concern they have for their partner's bits. For every search a woman makes about her man's penis, he makes 170 on his own, and vice versa. Here is something else that is interesting that comes up on Google. Men are divided about breast implants. When they are Googling about their partners and boob jobs, it turns out men are evenly split between asking how to persuade her to get implants and perplexity as to why she even wants them. And now we've all heard the saying, beauty is pain, but how much pain until it becomes detrimental to our health? I'm about to tell you, ladies, the maximum number of hours you should wear heels every day. New research shows that the more you wear high heels, the higher your chances of developing knee osteoarthritis. It is not exactly shocking that heels aren't great for you, but it begs the question, exactly how many hours can you get away with wearing pumps before the damage kicks in? Heels are bad for your feet because they place your feet in unnatural positions. To lower your risk of harmful conditions, you should decrease the number of hours you log in heels. When it comes to a low heel, which is 1.5 inches, you should cap the wear at 4 hours a day max. When it comes to medium heels, which are 1.5 to 3 inches, the max is 3 hours to be on those, and don't push it beyond that. A high heel, which is 3.5 inches or taller, is actually best to avoid altogether, but if you must, then no longer than 1 hour at a time. Here is a tip. After you wear high heels, roll a golf ball on the bottom of your feet. This promotes movement and strengthens the small muscles of your feet, two things that don't happen when you are wearing heels. Let's take a very quick break. This is what we have coming up next for you. Prime Minister Amen says leadership and utilities are the two key things in transitioning to sustainability. Details next. At the Caribbean Energy Security Summit taking place in Washington, D.C., Prime Minister Amen was given the opportunity to share with other policymakers in attendance on Aruba's execution plan towards sustainability. Prime Minister Amen credits the progression to leadership as well as incorporating all utilities company on board. During Prime Minister Ayman's address at the summit, he acknowledges that every country will have various NGOs, organizations, and other sectors interested in sustainability. However, it is up to the policymakers, which is the public sector, to make this happen.
With all the technology nowadays for information to get faster to our citizens, it is still the role of government to design and implement a vision together with the community to where we will have to go as country and citizens. It is the role of government to create that pathway and inspire citizens to believe in a certain direction and get the community and the whole country to buy in to that direction. No other institution in a country will take that whole responsibility of the direction of a country.
Besides for a vision and a leader who is fully committed to this vision, the utilities companies needs to be on board. They must be incorporated into the plan, otherwise it won't work.
If you really want to make this conversion, it's very important. One of the first tasks, besides developing the vision, is to get the utilities along. And that's something we have done in Aruba, and Carbon World was part of that. TNO, the Research Institute of the Netherlands, is to get the utilities, see where their future will be once we make the transition to total sustainability. So I would like to suggest today, with the different important progress we have been informed of programs that change, for instance, capitalization can also become possible for countries with higher capital income for investment in sustainable energy. One of the things we definitely have to do together for all the islands to make this conversion is to create a business plan in where the utility companies will see the future when we go all green.
Prime Minister Mike Ayman's advice for policymakers is to ensure camaraderie between the government as well as the companies in charge of water and electricity.
If they don't see the future in this transition, they will object. And in your country, they have the moral ground. They have the technical knowledge. They can discuss with politicians about if this is achievable or not, and you will not win the debate unless the utility companies are part of the process. So one thing we would like to share with everyone in the experience of Aruba, bring the utilities along, and where there is anxiety, take away the anxiety by sharing a vision on where there will be a new position for the utility companies in the future, and you will be successful also in this transition as we are at this moment in Aruba.
Nicely put by the Prime Minister. 15 on 15 airs weeknights at 7:15 p.m. Join us for the latest in local news as well as for lifestyle topics. We'll see you then.